7.
You're really not just gonna use World Martial Arts Tournament, huh?
Nope, I've decided I've been too easy on you dub-only watchers. Besides, y'all already know how to say Tenkaichi Budokai, even if you have been saying it the wrong way around.
Could be worse. He could have used number 1 Under Heaven Martial Arts Gathering.
Guys are being pretentious.
Faithful.
Pretentious aside, the 22nd World Martial Arts Tournament is technically the 3rd tournament in the series, after the 21st and Fortune Teller Babas, respectively. Toriyama had his work cut out for him to make this one stand out, and he does so in an interesting way.
While Goku maintains his role as the main character, the story doesn't so much center around his development, but rather around Kame Sennin, with this being the last fight we'd see the old turtle hermit take part in the original manga, and Ten Shinhan, student of an opposing school and a troubled, struggling soul.
I love when Toriyama explores the internal struggles of his characters. Between his sublime expression work, his penchant for building drama, and Dragon Ball's fascinating world full of possibilities, it's a shame we don't see as much moral complexity in the rest of his work as we do here, because Ten Shinhan's journey through this arc is something special. It also provides a fantastic avenue for Roshi to finally pass the torch to his beloved students and emphasizes the strengths of his teachings by using Ten Shinhan and the Crane School as a comparison.
Much like with the previous tournament, the qualifying rounds are a pretty light affair. It serves to establish our character roster and gives us a peek at the advancements our established cast made in the time skip after the previous arc. It also gives us a peek into the characters of Ten Shinhan and Chaozu, who manipulate the numbers of the drawing process so the matches can play out how they see fit. And then, our three-eyed antagonist lets us all know just how vicious he can be.
Dragon Ball is known for some brutal moments, but there's something so unsettling about Ten Shinhan breaking Yamcha's leg, largely because it's so unnecessary. He didn't have to go that far. Yamcha had already all but lost the match. But this wasn't about beating Yamcha, it was about sending a message. That Ten Shinhan is not to be taken lightly, and he has every intent on proving his superiority, even if it means ruining Kame Sennin's pupils.
It's hard to believe that after this devastating match, we jump immediately into a gag match with Roshi versus a reverse werewolf. It admittedly feels a bit like filler, but the punchline is pretty fantastic and it provides some levity leading into Chaozu versus Krillin, which actually rides the line of being a gag match itself. While the tricks and techniques Chaozu uses to put Krillin on the ropes are both quirky and dangerous, the climax of it is an honest laugh. There aren't many matches like this in Dragon Ball, and I think there's a lot to appreciate in terms of creativity on every level.
There's also Pomput. But it's the next and last 3 matches that matter most, starting off with Roshi versus Ten Shinhan. Whereas in the last tournament, Roshi's primary goal was to keep Goku humble and hungry, here he's looking to change the heart of a talented young man traveling down a dark path. He breaks out all the stops, and even when Ten Shinhan threatens the lives of him and the audience with a surprise Kamehameha, he still pushes through. He wants to drive home that the Turtle School won't be so easily demolished, before leaping off the stage, knowing that it's not his place to defeat Ten Shinhan.
But before that fateful match can happen, we finally get Goku versus Krillin. Sort of surprising that it took so long before we finally got a real fight between these two, and damn is it fantastic, highlighting all of Toriyama's strengths. And in the Japanese version of the anime, it's accompanied by Mesase Tenkaichi, one of my favorite insert songs in the series. Even though we all know that Goku was never going to lose this match, it's still exciting, satisfying, and even touching to see these two rivals finally go toe-to-toe. These are two friends having fun, going all out, putting all their hard work to the test.
And while their match is happening, Roshi confronts Ten Shinhan one last time. He makes the point that Ten just isn't the kind of killer he longs to be. That deep down there is an ember of goodness burning bright enough to make him doubt the ambition of his master and his own misguided aspirations. This moment marks the turning point for his character, who has sworn to end Goku for what he did to Tao Pai Pai.
Using Mercenary Tao to fuel the Crane School's fervor is a fantastic pull on Toriyama's part. It ties Goku directly into the conflict, instead of it merely being a matter of opposing schools. It's personal for Tien, who's idolized the assassin. When they step into the ring, he doesn't give Goku an inch. We actually talked in depth about this fight in our top 12 fights, where it ranked number 9 in the entire series. It's a doozy, and over the course of the match, Ten Shinhan is forced to not only confront Goku, but his friend, his master, and himself.
It blindsided a lot of people when Goku ultimately lost this match. After his loss at the 21st Tenkaichi Budokai, it seemed like a sure bet that Goku would firmly grasp the W this time. However, Goku's the first to touch outside the ring, and Ten Shinhan goes home the victor. And honestly, This subversion is superb, because the real victory here was pulling Ten Shinhan away from the dark side, and it's the perfect setup for the 23rd Tenkaichi Budokai, where Goku's third try would ultimately be the charm.
Spoilers?
For Dragon Ball?
I don't know, you guys always made it a running joke, so I just wanted to do one.
Funny enough, it seems like we haven't had much bad to say about this arc. So why is it so far down on the list?
I think it comes down to scale. This is the shortest arc in all of Dragon Ball by chapters, and the entirety of it plays out as a tournament, meaning there's little variation in environment and the scope of the story is limited. Which isn't necessarily bad. This arc is a very personal affair with amazing fights and effective melodrama, but many of Dragon Ball's best sagas have higher stakes and a grander scale, which also aren't inherently positive qualities either, mind you.
Personally, I'm a fan of shorter, more focused stories with no wasted motions. The Buu Saga and Tournament of Power are great examples of bloat, with pacing issues aplenty.
But it's hard to ignore how Toriyama would go on to write further compelling, epic narratives with pathos and prophecy, and more variation and complexity, even in other tournaments.
Yeah, like the Universe 6 tournament.
No, he obviously meant the Otherworld tournament.
Actually, he probably means the 28th Tenkaichi Budokai.
Wait! The Toy-San Tournament of Champions.
That thing had a name?
That was its name?